Once upon a time, in a vast ocean, there was a fish named Rainbow Fish. Rainbow Fish was known throughout the ocean for his shiny, sparkling scales that shimmered and glimmered in all the colors of the rainbow. His scales were the most beautiful things in the ocean, and he was very proud of them. One day, a little blue fish approached Rainbow Fish and asked him if he could have one of his scales.
Please, Rainbow Fish, can I have one of your scales? I've never seen anything so beautiful, said the little blue fish.
Rainbow Fish was taken aback by the request and refused, telling the little blue fish that his scales were too precious to give away.
No, I'm sorry, little fish. I can't give you one of my scales. They are too beautiful to give away, replied Rainbow Fish.
The little blue fish went away feeling sad and rejected. And soon all the other fish in the sea started to ignore Rainbow Fish. He realized that his pride and selfishness had cost him his friends. Feeling lonely and regretful, Rainbow Fish went to seek the advice of an old wise octopus.
Please, wise octopus, can you help me? I've lost all my friends, and I don't know what to do, said Rainbow Fish.
The octopus told Rainbow Fish that true happiness comes from sharing and giving, not from hoarding and keeping things for oneself.
But how can I give away my scales? They're the most beautiful things in the ocean, replied Rainbow Fish.
The octopus smiled and said,
True beauty comes from within, Rainbow Fish. Share your beauty with others, and you'll see that you'll be much happier.
Rainbow Fish realized that he had been selfish and decided to make amends. He went back to the little blue fish and gave him one of his scales.
Here, little fish. You can have one of my scales,
said Rainbow Fish. The little blue fish was overjoyed and swam away happily, showing off the beautiful scale to all his friends. Rainbow Fish realized that giving away one of his scales made him feel happy, and he decided to give away more of his scales. One by one, he gave away his scales to all the other fish in the ocean. As Rainbow Fish gave away his scales, he felt lighter and happier. The other fish were amazed by the beauty of Rainbow Fish's scales, and they too wanted to be his friend. Rainbow Fish became the most popular fish in the sea, and he was happy because he had learned the true value of friendship and generosity.
Thank you, wise octopus. I've learned that true happiness comes from sharing and giving, not from hoarding and keeping things for oneself, said Rainbow Fish.
From that day on, Rainbow Fish continued to share his scales with his friends in the ocean. He had learned that true happiness comes from sharing and giving. Not from hoarding and keeping things for oneself. It's important to be generous and kind to others, and to value the friendships we make along the way. From Mud to Water, the tale of the little pig's discovery. Once there was a little pig named Percy who lived on a farm with his family. Percy was a very curious pig and loved to explore the world around him. One day, while rolling around in the mud, he spotted a pond in the distance. He had heard of ponds before, but he had never actually seen one. Being the adventurous pig that he was, Percy decided to go check it out. He waddled over to the pond and peered in, and to his surprise, he saw that the water was clear and inviting. At first, Percy hesitated, but then he decided to take a risk and jump in. To his amazement, he found that he loved swimming. The cool water felt refreshing on his skin, and he loved paddling around and exploring the pond. Percy had never felt so alive before. From that day on, Percy spent all of his time in the water. Splashing around and diving for rocks. His family and friends on the farm were surprised to see him so happy and content. Percy had discovered a new passion, and he couldn't get enough of it. Even when the weather got colder, Percy still went swimming. He loved the feeling of the cold water on his skin. And he found that he could swim even better in the winter. Percy's love for swimming inspired the other animals on the farm to try new things as well. They started exploring the woods and fields around the farm, discovering new wonders and adventures just like Percy had. And so, the little pig who once loved nothing more than rolling around in the mud had found a new passion that brought him joy and happiness. Percy realized that sometimes, taking a risk and trying something new can lead to the most amazing experiences in life. Grumpy Bear's Journey to Happiness. Once upon a time, in a lush green forest, there lived a little bear who was always grumpy. He would roam around the forest with a frown on his face. And nothing seemed to make him happy. He was always complaining about everything. From the weather to the food he ate. One day, while the little bear was wandering in the forest, he stumbled upon a kind-hearted deer. The deer was nibbling on some grass. And looked up to see the little bear approaching. The bear was surprised to see that the deer was not afraid of him. And instead, she greeted him with a warm smile. The deer asked the bear what was wrong, And the bear explained that he was always grumpy and could not find happiness in anything. The deer listened patiently and then suggested that they go for a walk together. The little bear was hesitant at first, but the deer convinced him to come along. As they walked, the deer pointed out the beautiful flowers and trees in the forest. And the little bear started to see the beauty that surrounded him. The deer showed him how to smell the flowers and how to feel the sun on his fur. She taught him how to listen to the birds chirping and the wind rustling through the leaves. The little bear was amazed by how much he had been missing out on. He realized that he had been so focused on his grumpiness that he had not taken the time to appreciate the beauty around him. The deer showed him that happiness was all around him. And he just needed to open his eyes and his heart to see it. From that day on, the little bear was no longer grumpy. He had found happiness in the simple things around him. And he enjoyed every moment of his life. He would often go for walks with the kind-hearted deer. And they would explore the forest together. Discovering new wonders and joys every day. The other animals in the forest noticed the change in the little bear. And were amazed by how happy he had become. They would often ask him how he had managed to find such happiness. And the little bear would always smile and say, "I met a kind-hearted deer who showed me how to find happiness and enjoy life."